Again, I think Alpha is now quite tricky because they can resupply directly from Charlie. And the thing is, they can use these woods to get quite close to us, our forces, without being spotted. So I decided to retreat my command armor because it was very close to the woods. It was in this hedge line here. And my ally is bringing his command vehicle back as well. So I stop it now that it's fairly safe here. I haven't seen anything from this flank, but I asked my ally to buy a bit of key recon just to be safe. Again, using some Urals here and there to keep my stuff going, keep it refilled so I can move it. See, Crescent recon there. And he's bringing his command vehicle back to Bravo so we can get some points. Now let's look at the point scene. We have Alpha, which is worth 2. They've got Charlie, which is worth 2, but they've also got Lima, Juliet, Kilo, Mike, Oscar. So they have a huge points advantage over us at this point, with 16 extra points than us. And this really shows they seem to be brought into AL-16 mortar carriers. Yep, mortar carriers. Short range, but can do quite a bit of damage. Well, they're quite accurate. It's usually the main thing. These are the French ones, so they're quite key but not accurate. Again, the MRS, they've brought in another one as well, to I guess keep up the pressure on us. Let's see, where are they targeting? You say they're targeting here. So I have to move my T-64s. They're using the artillery to keep us running, because if we stay at 1 point too long, they can just keep artillerying us, and then it'll ruin our units' morale and damage them. So when they attack, they'll have a big advantage. But the thing is that keeping us on the move plays to their advantage quite nicely, because obviously packed units, they don't have a good stabilizer, so their accuracy of their guns on the move is atrocious, and their ATGMs, which is one of the big pluses they have against NATO tanks in general, can't be fired on the move. So yeah, so let's see, they're bringing in some tank destroyers with those ITO missiles, very dangerous, very deadly, and they're pushing in a huge attacking force through the woods to attack Alpha. Let's see, they've got another MRS coming in. They've got their Coluses, they're using a lot, the Leopard 1A2s. Again, the Coluses points on the Motorstrelki, but the Motorstrelki are now told to fire directly at the Coluses. This is good, but the infantry are now coming in. But they don't get out fast enough, and they're all killed before they get a chance to fire a single shot. Motorstrelki are doing some good damage here. Coluses machine gun, obviously, it's nice, but it's weak, and when you attack with Coluses alone, and we don't there's not a lot of conflict going on, so my ally can micro his Motorstrelki quite effectively to knock out the Coluses. And these are quite experienced Motorstrelki now. They've clearly been in a lot of fights, but I guess swarmed with Coluses and tanks. There's not much they can do. See over here, they're penning they're buying Rolands. They've got recon, tank destroyers, more tank destroyers, rifle squads. Lots of stuff they're bringing into Pennington and Alpha, and buying some more command trucks. Let's see, they've secured now Echo. So there's 8, 11, 20, 22. So they've now got 22 points a second. We're getting 3. They have a huge points advantage because they're keeping our command trucks on the run. They moved some Leopard 1A1s out of the forest, but it's a pretty bad angle. It puts them at their maximum range to us. They can't fire. We can fire quite easily. These 64s are quite experienced. Now they've got at least 1 level each, and one's got 2. And the VDV rifle squads are coming in. Unfortunately, these guys have an RPG-16. It's quite a good anti-tank gun. As you can see, it's knocked out one of the Leopards quite quickly. But the Vapuzzi, I think, have a better one. And the Leopards have stunned them with their cannons. These are actually, the level 1A ones only have a cannon, actually. They don't have a machine gun. It's interesting. Over there was a bit of a failed attempt where I used my Mi-24 from earlier and bought an Mi-9 reconnaissance helicopter. I was going to try and go command hunting because I didn't think that I have that much protecting it, but as you can see, Chaparrals, Fuchs, Cobras, Jaeger, they actually had a lot of stuff, and this Chaparral was fully vetted, so it was going to pretty much hit whatever it fired at us. Also, notice they've got the Jaegers and the Fuchs here, sort of cutting off any retreat line, but we're quite close. See, there's only about 200 points to victory because they were set at 6,500 for victory. I know there's a pretty big battle going in. This is pretty much the last battle of the game. They're rushing in their armored personnel carriers. They're rushing everything at us to try and break us. These are T-64s. These are nice and very powerful tanks. Their armor isn't that good, so once the stuff can start firing back, it could do a bit of damage. We only got, so we're only 100 points from victory now. We're in the lead. 50 points advantage to us, about 100 now. But now that all these tanks can return fire, the MRSs are coming in with a massive rocket battery here, stunning the T-64s. We only need 40 more points. Over here, some Cobras come in, trying to fight off these, to pick off these command vehicles. But boom, Cobra goes down. That's the 40 points we need. Right, so let's have a look at the final results, because this is very interesting. Okay, so it's technically a draw because our points were so close, but us Pact did actually secure the win. We got to 6,500 first, against 6,300. Okay, but let's look at the total differences now. The first thing to make it pretty obvious is the command points. They had 6,464 command points in that game. We had 1,667. So they had a huge economical advantage to us. They could buy so much more than us. But we still managed to get more kills. So let's have a look at how it turned out. Scout got a kills of 630 to 1,187 before he left and brought in a fair amount of command points, 200. He wasn't in the game for quite long. It doesn't put him out as a good player, but I think he was shown in a pretty bad light in this video just because he probably took the brunt of the force. So he had 4 players attacking him and Erebus, whereas me and Clayton didn't receive the brunt of the attack. And Erebus got a fair, he got a fair turn off. He didn't get as many points as in the start of the game, but he got a fair, he got a fair KD ratio, seen again because they were receiving the brunt of the attack. Clayton, he killed a lot of units. He got 2,643 kills, but he lost 3,222 units. Compared to me, I got about 40 less kills, but I only lost 1,000 units. But the thing is, when you look at it, Clayton bought in a lot more command points than me. So there you go again. Because my command vehicle was being used to neutralize the zone for quite a bit of time. And as you can see here, Matchedness got about a fair amount. He only got 1,200 kills, 1,200 casualties. But the thing is, if you look, his command points, he got the majority of his team's command points, as well as Skytel, who got a pretty good KD ratio. He killed 3,800 points of our units and only lost 1,400. So he, as well as bringing in very large amount of points, about 2,500. So he was definitely the player of the match, even though his team didn't technically win. Over here, it's pretty similar to my name in pronunciation, but it's spelled differently. He got 600 kills, 1,500 casualties, so he didn't do too well. But then Exelos, he only got 605 kills and lost the majority of his team's units. He lost 2,364 units, but he actually didn't technically bring in any command points. I'm not sure how that happened. His command vehicle must have been moving somewhere and being one of the first to go down. But there you go. So very close game, only about 200 points in it at the end of the game. Technically a draw, but I don't know. I sort of think our team won just because we were at such a unit disadvantage, and we still managed to hit 6,500 first. Leave in the comments who you think won that game, or if you thought it was a draw. And yep, I hope to bring up another Wargame video very soon. Thank you and goodbye.